Spell, Spellbound by Nora Roberts, Chapter 9. The castle of secrets glimmered with the light of 1,000 torches. Its walls glinted silver and speared up toward the moon. The stone floor of the great hall was smooth as marble. In the center of the charmed circle cast by the ancients, Brianna stood in a robe of white, her hair a ball of fire, her eyes blue of heated steel. Here she would make her stand. Do you call the thunder and whistle up the winds, aloud a star? Such snowmanship. In a swirl of smoke, a sting of sulphur, he appeared before her, solid now, his flesh as real as hers. He wore the robes of crimson, of blood and power. His golden looks were beautiful, an angel's face, but the contrast of those dark and damning eyes. And an impressive, if overdue, done entrance, Brianna said lightly, though her pulse fluttered. Your trouble, my darling, is that you fail to appreciate the true delights of power, contenting yourself with your woman's charms and potions when worlds are at your mercy. I take my oath and my gifts to heart, Aladistar, unlike you. My only oath is to myself. You'll belong to me, Brianna, body and soul, and you will give me what I want the most. Where is the globe? Beyond you, Aladistar, where it will remain, as I will. She gestured sharply, shot a bolt of light into the air to land and burn at his feet. A foolish gesture, she knew, but she needed to impress him. He angled his head and smiled indulgently. Pretty tricks. The moon is rising to midnight, Brianna. The time of waiting is ending. Your warrior has deserted you once again. He stepped closer, careful not to test the edge of the circle, and his voice became soft and seductive. Why not accept, even embrace, what I offer you? Lifetimes of power and pleasure, riches beyond imagination. You have only to accept it, to take my hand, and we will rule together. I want no part of your kingdom, and I would rather be bedded by a snake than have your hands on me. Murky blue fire gleamed at his fingertips, and his anger taken form. You felt them on you in your dreams, and you'll feel them again. Gentle I can be, or punishing, but you'll never feel another's hand but mine. He's lost to you, Brianna, and you are lost to me. He is safe from you. She threw up her head. So I have already won. Be gone from this place. Her voice filled the great hall and rang like bells, or faced the death of mortals. He whipped a hand over his mouth, furious that she'd drawn first blood. A battle, then? At his vicious cry, a shadow formed at his feet, and the shadow took the shape of a wolf, black-pelted, red-eyed, fangs bared. With a snarl it sprang, leaping toward Brianna's throat. Cal pounded up the cliff, driving his mount fiercely. The castle glowed brilliantly with light, its walls tall and solid again, its turret shafts of silver that nicked the cloud-chased moon. With a burst of knowledge, he thrust a hand inside the cloak and drew out the globe that waited there. It swam red as blood, fire sparks of light piercing the clouds. He willed them to clear, willed them to see, as he thundered higher toward the crest of the cliff. Visions came quickly, overlapping and rushing, Brianna weeping as she watched him sleep. The dark chamber with the globe held between them and her whispering spell. You will be safe, you will be free. There is nothing, my love, you cannot ask of me. Follow the stag whose pelt is white. If your heart is not open, come not back in the night. This gift and this duty I trust unto you, the globe of hope and the visions true. Live and be well and remember me not. What cannot be held is best forgot. What I do free. As I will, so mote it be. The terror struck like a snake, its fangs plunging deep into the heart, for he knew what she meant to do. She meant to die. She wanted to live and fought fiercely. She sliced the wolf, cleaving its head from its body with one stroke of will, and its blood was black. She sent her lights blazing, the burning cold that would scorch the flesh and freeze the bone, and knew she would lose when midnight rang. Aladistar's robe smoked from the violence of her power, and still he could not break the circle and claim her. He sent the ground heaving under her feet, and watched her sway, then fall to her knees, and his smile bloomed dark when her head fell weakly, and that fiery curtain of hair rained over her shouldering stones. Will you ask for pain, Brianna? He stepped closer, felt the hot licks when his soft boots skimmed the verge of the circle. Not yet, he warned himself, inching back, but soon. Her spell was waning. Just take my hand and spare yourself. We will forget this battle and rule. Give me your hand and give me the globe. Her breath was short and shallow. She whispered words in the old tongue, the secrets of magic, intonations that flickered weakly as the power slipped like water through her fingers. I will not yield. You will. You have no choice. The charm was cast. The time has come. You belong to me now. He reached down and her shoulder burned from his finger's brush. I belong to Callan. She gripped the amulet, steeling herself, then flipped its poison chamber open with her thumb. She whipped her head up and with a last show of defiance smiled. You will never have what is his. She brought the amulet to her lips, prepared to take the powder. The horse and rider burst into the torchlight in a flurry of black, storm gray, and steel. Would you rather die than trust me? Cal demanded fiercely. The amulet slipped through her fingers. Powder sifted onto the stones. Callan, touch her, Aladastar, and I'll cut your hands at the wrist. There was alarm and there was shock. Aladastar silently straightened slowly. He would not lose now. The woman was already defeated, he calculated, and the man was, after all, only a foolish mortal. You were a warrior 1,000 years ago, Callan Farrell. You are no warrior tonight. Cal vaulted from the horse, and his sword swung as he pulled it from its scabbard. Try me. Unexpected little flicks of fear twisted Aladastar's belly. I will bring such fury raining down on your head. He crossed his arms over his chest and flung them to the side. Black balls of lightning shot out, hissing trails of snarking sparks. Instantly Cal raised the sword. Pain and power shot up his arm as the charges struck, careened away, and crashed, smoking into stone. Do you think such pitiful weapons can defend against a power such as mine? Arrogance and rage rang in Aladastar's voice as he hurled arrows of flame. His cry echoed as the arrow struck Cal's cloak and melted into water. Your power is nothing here. Brianna was on her feet again, her white robe swirling like foam, and her face so glowed with beauty that both men stared in wonder. I am the guardian of this place. I am a witch whose power flows clean. I am a woman whose heart is bespoken. I am the keeper of all you will never own. Fear me, Aladastar, and fear the warrior who stands with me. He will not stand with you, and what you guard I will destroy. With fists clenched she called the flames, and shot the torches from their homes to wheels and burn and scorch the air. You will bow yet to my will. With lifted arms Brianna brought the rain, streaming pure and cool through the flames to douse them, and felt as the damp air swirled, power pour through her, from her, as rich and potent as any she'd known. Save this place, Aladastar warned, and lose the man. He whirled on Cal, sneered as he lifted his sword. Remember death. Like a blade sliced to the belly, the agony struck. Blood flowed through his numbed fingers, and the sword clouded onto the wet stone. He saw his death, leaping like a beast, and heard Brianna scream of fear and rage. You will not harm him. It's trickery alone, Callan, hear me. But her terror for him was so blinding that she ran to him, leaving the charm of the circle. The bolt of energy slapped her like a jagged fist, sent her reeling and crumbling. Paralyzed, she fought for her strength, but found the power that had flowed so pure and true, now only that ebbing flicker. Callan, you must believe, trust, believe, or all is lost. He loses faith, and you lose your power. He is weak and blind, and you have proven yourself more woman than witch to trade your power for his life. Reaching down, he grabbed her hair and dragged her roughly to her knees. You have nothing left, he said to her. Give me the globe. Come to me freely, and I will spare you from pain. You will have neither. She gripped the amulet, despairingly that its chamber was empty. She bit off her cry as icy fingers squeezed viciously around her heart. From this time and this place you are in bondage to me for 100 years times 10, and this pain you feel will be yours to keep until you bend your will to mine. He lowered his gaze to her mouth, a kiss, to seal the spell. She was wrenched out of his arms. Her fingers locked her Cal's. Even as she whispered his name, he stepped in front of her, raised the sword in both hands so that it shimmered sharp and silver. Your day is done. Cal's eyes burned, and the pain swirled through him, only added to his strength. Can you bleed, wizard? He demanded, and brought the sword down like fury. There was a cry, undulating, inhuman, a stench of sulphur, a blinding flash. The ground heaved, the stones shook, and lightning, cold and blue, speared out of the air and struck. The explosion lifted him off his feet. Even as he grabbed for Brianna, Cal felt the hot, greedy hand of her hurl him into the whirling air, into the dark.